What's going on, y'all? It's Jeff, and I was just extra sleepy this weekend, so I'm just posting this. I feel like late, so I'm gonna keep this short. And yeah, I feel like the last episode was just very just extra shenanigans that I honestly really couldn't recall most of the episode if I tried, other than the skin suit. I feel like that's gonna live with me for a long time. So I'm hoping this episode is a little bit more cohesive. I just checked out the first 10 seconds of it just to make sure it was the right one, and it seemed like it had this a bit more of a, I guess, somber atmosphere to it. So I guess we'll see. Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, just like the rustling of the wind, like the standoff. Noko's voice actress really is so versatile. See, now we're back to Happy Noko. Is this like to get into Dear Vogue? Also, noticing Shika is printed on the title, so on the cover, so Shika is canon in this universe. Or does Shika mean deer? Why is Anko familiar with this? I would turn up for this, I can't even lie. Oh, and they have babes? Yeah, honestly, Koshitan's just been living under a rock. That was a demand. Wait. She's the celebrity. You deadbeat. Nokotan just... I kinda just can't get over Nokotan just accepting her place as the subservient one. How did this end with me getting dumped? That's the most relatable she's ever been. Sounds like she's singing some kind of Ondo, Literally every one of Koshitan's lines so far has just been yelling. Oh. Does it? Wow, that plays out in her. But does Koshitan really? It's so funny because does Nokotan actually think of herself as the player too? Because she is so manipulative, and I feel like Koshitan has never once played Nokotan like that. Just. And I love Koshitan just spreading, just pumping out the aura, This was always going to be... This is always going to be the end result, no matter how Nokotan went about it. Much like Basha, man, I feel like they are all eating this up. He's gonna say, is she punishing her? I like this episode though. This is... I feel like I can follow this one a lot better. The trail we've placed. Wow, this is so it's so classy. Wow. She's ethereal. That was actually really, really sweet. She really is no ordinary deer. I feel like you could argue that everything that's happened to Koshitan so far has been an illusion created by Nokotan. Never have I heard of the pet whipping the owner into shape. Is anyone else finding it hard to believe that this was like the hardcore delinquent thug she's been made out to be?
Hey, come on!
Oh. Was she embarrassed? That's not delinquent behavior. Just dancing around. Maybe to her it is. We didn't even get to see it? What? What? The fact we didn't even actually get to see the deer call. I feel like this show makes me feel like a nihilist sometimes because I'm like, I'm not going to say it was pointless, you know? Nothing matters. My tube. Shikanoko check. Was that like a Peter Piper picked a... Still gonna feel like Koshitan should have reported this teacher, but okay. Her doing it all for the sake of, like, domestic renovation. For a place that's not even hers, I really feel like that shows just what a go-getter she is, like... I feel like it's gonna pop off. Yeah. Like, she's doing it with Nokotan? Well, this is a terrible idea, like... Like, Nokotan's gonna... I was growing closer to you. Teteja! Ugh, it's scraping in my ear. I don't like it. What the heck? I feel like Koshitan is not going to... This is like the worst thing Noko could be doing, like ruining the place. Like ruining the place that Koshitan is doing all of this for. What even possessed her to think this was a good idea? There's a One Piece book that has just like a various like of the facial expressions throughout the 1,000 episodes. I really think that this series could be a contender there. I would get that book. Even more? Used to seeing it this floppy. Oof. Burn. I honestly feel like you never really know if Shikanoko is just trolling her, like... She has to know this isn't the time, or... I mean, unless the crowd is enjoying it, I'm curious. One of life's great mysteries. You guys. Is this what's supposed to win people over? Like, I imagine this being the introduction episode. You showing this as the introduction episode to someone. Bonus points if they don't watch anime and see if this wins them over. This episode is so good for real though, like having to see Koshitan like balance delinquent Koshitan with honor student one. Gonna shear her? It's gotta be the antlers, I feel. the way Noko said Koshitan? As Koshitan was lunging at her as if she actually thought that she's gonna strike her. That's crazy. To never stream again. Somewhat. Like, I feel like that somewhat is heavy. You know? Doing this whole stream with the entrepreneur thing a few episodes ago. Nokotan is honestly really helping Koshi to find herself, I feel. Him just thinking his name to himself, like his full name. Whoever this character is, I don't know how I feel about that smug aura of his. Ooh, I wonder if this segment would just be about Koshi. Why did the background do that when he said that? Oh, okay, no, I guess it's the two of them. Okay. I was just about to say, like, he's the only person who's ever reacted to this. Huh? So he's also going to show her his ultimate hospitality. It kind of begs the question of how this series would operate, like, if there was even just, like, a segment. I feel like they have done it before, but even just a segment that only involves Koshitan or only involves Nokotan, like, if one of them can carry an episode by themselves. I'm curious to see if they would do that at some point. I prepared the perfect water. Perfect mountain spring water. Is something out of place? Where's the bread? An antler. She said that like that's just like asking for like a toddler booster, like. This is just an amenity that you should have. Honestly, I can't help but to admire how much he cares about his career. Is it just the crackers? I can never guess like when the plot, like when the plot is gonna call for the deer crackers. Okay. 8 times out of 10 you can get it. I don't know why I'm like sensing some tension between them of some sort. At least she compromised. I feel like Koshitan is way too... Nokotan is way too good at breaking people's spirits. Inadvertently, too. This dude is gonna end up, like, shutting down this cafe because of this. Yeah. It's like his heart is racing, like... It's a little bit of a stereotype, maybe, I don't know, but I feel like if he brought me out a parfait that had like an afro. That being said, both these things would be cute, so... Bro, is that ultimately the point? He's like literally has gray hairs now. It would be sad, a little bit sad if Nokotan lets him leave in this condition. I think you're trying too hard. Literally just like I said at the beginning of this episode, like her range. her antlers just at the door, but I feel like sometimes Nokotan just has like the wisdom of like a just like a very well-known mage. Oh man. This just became my like peak secondary ship. My peak secondary Noko ship. Dear God. Yeah, I like that a whole lot. It was really awesome to have an episode that like I feel like served to show off even more so like Nokotan's range. She can be really sincere or really feisty or just really soft and sweet, soft spoken, and I just feel like yeah, that's like not lost on me, like the range that her actress actually has. Where, as by contrast, I feel like for the first like 70% of this episode, Nokotan was very like one note, like very like amped up and just pure. I got something to prove energy, and I feel like that's just really interesting to see how Koshitan, or I keep doing that, how Nokotan is like managing to push people outside of their comfort zones, like is inspiring Koshi to try new things, like the stream, or inspiring this guy who should have, this entire time to put deer crackers in the menu to really make his, menu culturally aware. So it's just really things like that I love seeing, like how characters like affect the wider world around them. I think it really just helps like the world building. I feel like it just helps the world building a lot. So this episode really served that purpose, I think. So yeah, I'm excited until next time.